Hello everyone, CamBearRun here, and welcome to another Magic the Gathering Arena video. This is Simic Kicker. So, probably the most important mechanic that was released in Zendikar Rising was the landfall mechanic. But the other one that was released was Kicker, the idea of paying more for a spell to get bonus effects. So I built a deck around the Kicker mechanic using the Simic guild. So you've got 4 copies of Bubble Snare, so it taps target creature on being kicked and it prevents the creature from being untapped. So that is quite useful. 4 copies of Roost of Drake, probably the most important card in the deck. So when Roost of Drake enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, you can create a 2/2 blue Drake, and it repeatedly casts 2/2 blue Drakes for every kick spell you cast. 4 copies of Reclaim the Wastes allows you to add a land card to your hand, 2 land cards if you kick it. 4 copies of Into the Royal, so it bounces a card back to your opponent's hand, or if you kick it, you can draw a card yourself. 4 copies of Knowledge Colony to boost my creatures with counters on them, and it ends with 2/1/1 counters if you kick it. 4 copies of Vine Gecko to reduce the cost of cards that are kicked, and it gains +1/+1 counter every time you kick a spell. 4 copies of Marley Pixie to help with mana. To that end, we also have Lol Mage's Familiar, and because you gain 2 luck whenever you cast a kick spell. 3 copies of Vastwood Surge, the other really important card in the deck. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them on the back tapped, and shuffle your library. If you kick this spell, put 2/1/1 counters on each creature you control. So you can basically put counters on your creatures, and especially your Drakes, and then boost them with Gnarly Colony to give them trample. And then 2 copies of Cragplate Battle-Oath, so it comes in as 6/6, has Hexproof Haste, can't be countered, and it becomes a 10/10 if you kick it. So it's one big beat stick to finish. So what you're about to see is me playing in Play Queue. I tried to take this deck into Ranked, and it didn't really go well. It got too outpressured easily, especially in a removal-heavy meta. A lot of the cards I just tried to play got removed instantly. You'll see some of the stuff in Play Queue. You might see some of the issues I had with the game, with the deck whilst in Play Queue. I think the biggest issue that I kind of had is that no point during any of my games did I come into Vastwood Surge within a point of coming into Roost of Drakes. I think this deck really seemed to have a weird premise while drawing. For mana, I had 4 Temple of Mystery, 10 Forest and 10 Island, which was fine. But you might see a couple of really awkward things that happened. All of this is done in post. So it was 4 games in Play Queue. So we're just going to go, so I'll show you the games and we'll talk about the deck in the outro. So let's just get on to the footage. We're going to keep this hand. We're going to scry here. I can keep that, but since I'll best be playing Vine Gecko, but I do need to start drawing some land. If necessary, I'll just play 2 Reclaim the Waste and just grab it onto hand. Vine Gecko. It's fine. Cost 1 of these anyway. Make sure we've got an extra island. There we go. Attacking that, and then we'll just wait for our opponent's next turn. So what we'll do is we'll bless play off the top, like Bubble Snare, Reclaim the Wastes. Grab a forest. There we go. You might be in a mirror match here. Just thinking. Oh, they scooped. I just don't think they had anything to play. We'll leave that one as a short, awkward victory. We'll move on to the next game. That's a pretty good hand, actually. I'll keep with the mana. I can drop Marley Pixie, Lol Mage's Familiar, and go on from there. As long as I get some actual kicker spells. I don't really need that because we've got enough mana in hand. I can take a 1 hit. Perfect. play out the Marley. We're still going to go Pixie until Old Mage's Familiar. Hopefully that won't take too much off us. I can take one. I have a feeling they've got a pump spell, so I don't want to sacrifice the Pixie for no reason. Or they'll just have that. The love of God. Alright. Anyway. At least something that won't die to an immediate Scorching Dragonfire. Really use a Roost of Drakes off the top. Seriously? Could have cost that for... Oh shit, I could have cost that for one. That's my bad. Oopsie. What the fuck am I facing exactly? Right, so I can pump a Gnarlid Column there. Next turn. I can't keep taking 1-1 all the time. Yep, so it just replays the... Right. Perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna throw this one out there. I think this guy is literally using the mono red starter deck. Which is fine, but it comes with a lot of removal. So getting creatures on the board is going to be a bit difficult. I think they modified their version so it has stuff like Slaying Fire. I'm gonna play off the 2-2. I can't really afford to, like, not have creatures on the board at this point. Yeah. This is literally the, Seriously? I'm literally dying the slowest fucking death at the minute. Because I can't keep anything on the board because he keeps drawing all of his removal in one go. That's fine. Really use that, actually. You're kidding me. It's like he's fucking just drawing everything he needs just to remove my deck. He's actually going to kill me ridiculously slowly. I mean... okay, weird notion. But, like, imagine if this was, like, the only mana that he had in his deck and everything else was just a removal spell. And this is literally how he won games. Holy fuck. Finally. A little bit of reprieve, because he now can't attack with anything. Right. Okay. I can block it with this. Oh, boy. So yeah, this is not helpful. I think the worst part is that he wins because I basically don't draw anything that actually boosts my creatures. Yeah, he's up. He can put me down a 1. We get another bubble snare off the top, I should be alright. This is going to be the most awkward defeat I think I've ever seen. Yeah, that's really fucking stupid. I didn't draw anything other than mana and just the ability to just do nothing but, like, chomp off the top. If I'd have got, like, a Vastwood Fortification or something, I would have won. So stupid. Yeah, we can keep that. I'll have to scry first and then just see how it goes. Need a land, to be honest. Yep. Okay, so we've got a Lull Mage's Familiar. There we go. I need a... It doesn't really matter, but I'll grab a blue. Grab Morally Pixie. There we go. I think you can see what kind of deck it is. Damn. We'll grab the land here. Get the hit in. You still know it's ridiculous how much like some of the how costly some of the kicker costs are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's about right. That's 7. Remember, the Cragplate Baloth can't be targeted by anything. Yeah, I think I've got the win here. Yeah, they scooped. Well, that was fun. On to the next game. Okay, we're on the draw, but I don't mind that hand. We can grab the land to reclaim the waste, go into Vine Gecko and all that jazz. It's an alright curve. It's a rarity for this deck, but again, we'll talk more about that in the outro. Now, who plays Grawler? Oh. So I'll put the Vine Gecko out to die, basically, so it'll immediately get stomped. Or not. Oh no. Yep. I'm yet to encounter a Gruul deck that doesn't start off with Bonecrusher Giant in its opening hand. Trust me, it's a formality. Right. There we go, that's a blocker for Bonecrusher Giant. Seriously. I see, who plays, like, Hyper Aggro Gruul Adventures in fucking Play Queue? Really? Oh, and Robert the Rich as well. I just took my bubble snap. But I can block him anyway. Yeah, unless I can get a Vastwood Fortification next turn, I think I'm basically dead. So... I can block the Bonecrusher Giant with one of the Drakes. I mean, really? I mean, I'm basically dead anyway. Like, neither of these can block Brushfire Elemental. I can block the Ooze and the Bonecrusher Giant, and that's about it. Swear he's pulled like 3 Stable Passages off the top since he got 4 land off. Like it was nothing. Yeah, that's powerful. That would have been 2 turns ago. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to give it up here. That's really annoying. Last game. That's against anything with, like, actual value that can put pressure on really easily. You're basically screwed. But I still stand by my comment that I'm yet to face a Gruul deck which doesn't have Stomp in its opening hand. When I play it, I played Gruul a couple of times. Haven't pulled Stomp for days, but no, when my opponent plays it, perfect every time. So yeah, excuse the salt rant at the end there, but basically I thought this deck might be somewhat good, but I think the oversight that I made was it's not got a lot of card draw, and which the really crucial thing, which is really important in the current meta, it does not have any removal. It's got bounce spells, and it's got the ability to tap my opponent's creatures and stop them from attacking. But without removal, and certainly without the kind of card draw that would be necessary, the whole deck just falls apart. This deck would be great if you started off automatically with 4 mana on the board. Then it'd be great because you just start kicking spells right from the beginning. But you basically have to try and survive to get to 4 mana and then start kicking spells. And even then, like, with the huge mana cost and the need to constantly play land, if you don't start drawing land after that, you're pretty much up a creek very, very quickly. Morally, Pixie and Old Mage's Familiar does help, but yeah, again, it's key thing. I mean, if I consider putting Cultivate into the deck and taking out Gnarly Colony, but I think realistically, your best bet to make this deck work, excuse me, your best bet to make this deck work is to get an early roost of Drakes and being able to generate Drake tokens, and over on your opponent. It's probably not the best deck to use. Like I said, I tried to use it in ranked and it was a complete disaster because I got out-pressured nearly every single game to the point where I just thought, no, the only way I'm going to be able to play it is play it in play queue. And, I mean, at least 2 of the wins I got were based on my opponents not being able to respond to anything. I think the only one that kind of annoys me is the mono-red game, but that's just part of the course. But even part of that, if your opponent is able to draw cards to deal with you, especially removal, you're pretty much up shit creek. Like, Vine Gecko only works if you're able to kick spells the minute you play it, or soon after you play it, so that it can survive at least a turn. But, yeah, that's the way it goes. But anyway, if you've enjoyed this video somewhat, then feel free to leave a like. If you want to see more, you can always subscribe. I'll be streaming tonight from 8 o'clock. I will not be using this deck. But anyway, thank you for watching. Cambear out.